I continue with the explanation of the chapter The Little Girl. We had stopped at the point where the little girl had torn the speeches papers and stuffed it in the pincushion, what she wanted to give for her father. Let's proceed with the story and see what has happened later. Crying too much to explain, she lay in the shadowed room watching the evening light make a sad little pattern on the floor. If you remember, she was told to be put to sleep immediately. So she was in her room over there, and now the light was becoming dimmer and it was evening time. So she saw her room which was not lit properly, and she could see the evening light getting dimmer, and everything seemed to be, whatever shadow the light seemed to be making over there, she thought it's a sad pattern. Then father came into the room with a ruler in his hand. As I told you, parents whack the children if they are wrong. But this father is not that, I would say, soft-hearted till now. And he brings a scale without even knowing that, knowing the reason as to why the child did this. He brings a ruler. That's a scale. I'm going to beat you for this, he said. Oh no, no, she screamed, hiding under the bedclothes. So she went under the sheet of the bed and tried to hide. He pulled them aside. Sit up, he ordered, and hold out your hands. You must be taught once and for all not to touch what does not belong to you. So the only way he had to teach her a lesson was to give her a whacking. But it was for your birthday. Again she started stuttering. Down came the ruler on her little pink palms. So even after she said that it was for your birthday, he came one on her hand with the ruler. Hours later, when grandmother had wrapped her in a shawl and rocked her in the rocking chair, the child clung to her soft body. Now, grandmother was the caring one. She cuddled her and then she said, "Go off to sleep now. It's okay that you've been beaten up." What did God make fathers for? Now, she's angry with her dad. Obviously, he has hit her. She thinks for no rhyme or reason. She asks a very cute question. What did God make fathers for? She sobbed. She was crying. Here's a clean hanky, darling. Blow your nose. Go to sleep, pet. You will forget all about it in the morning. I tried to explain to father, but he was too upset to listen tonight. The grandmother did try to intervene and tell the father that the child was not that much at fault. Her intention was right, but the father was not ready to listen to anything. But the child never forgot. Next time she saw him, she quickly put both the hands behind her back, and a red color flew into her cheeks. Anytime she would see her after that incident, she would keep her hands at the back, thinking that he would again whack her on her hands. And she would get nervous, that would give her cheeks a red color. The McDonald's lived next door. These are the neighbors. They had 5 children. Looking through a gap in the fence, the little girl saw them playing tag. Now, जैसे आप लोग बोलते ना पकड़म पकड़ाई, that is in English called tag. So she saw the 5 children playing tag in the evening. The father with the baby, Mao, on his shoulders, 2 girls hanging onto his coat pockets, ran round the flower beds, shaking with laughter. This was an unusual sight for her to see, that the children were playing with the father, but her father had never ever approached to her saying, "Let me play with you." So for her, it was a very different experience of her life, and then she inferred something out of it. Once she saw the boys turn the hose on him. The hose was a water pipe, and she tried to catch them, laughing all the time. So the boys were also playing. They had amongst the 5 children, there were boys also. They were playing with water also. So they were trying to catch each other not to splash water. Then it was she decided. There were different sorts of fathers. After this, she decided that one kind of father is in her house and the other kind of father is living beside her house. Suddenly, one day, mother became ill, and she and her grandmother went to the hospital. The little girl was left alone in the house with Alice, the cook. That was all right in the daytime. But while Alice was putting her bed, she grew suddenly afraid. Now, she was so used to her grandmother, every time she would feel scared, she would go and hug the grandmother. But this time, both Mama and the grandmother were missing from the home, and the only person whom she could who could cater to her needs was either the cook or her father. Now imagine with the father alone. What I'll do if I have a nightmare? The nightmares are those dreams, you can call them bad dreams, which give you a fright while sleeping. When you wake, you suddenly wake up with a jerk because you don't want to see that dream anymore. And they come sometimes on a repetitive mode. I often have nightmares, and then Granny takes me into her bed. I can't stay in the dark. It all gets whispery. Why she calling it whispery? Because all the sounds from surrounding she thinks are whispering into her ears. You just go to sleep, child, said Alice, pulling off her socks, and don't you scream and wake up your poor pa. So she says, don't scream and wake up your father. Why poor father? Because poor father has worked and come and he is tired. But the same old nightmare came. The butcher with a knife and a rope, who came nearer and nearer, smiling with that dreadful smile, while she could not move, could only stand still, crying out. Now the dream was that a butcher would come with a knife in his hand. Butcher is a person who chops meat. And he had a rope also in his hand, and he had a wretched smile, very cunning, very awkward kind of a smile on his face. He would be approaching her and she would freeze. When you get very, very scared, you freeze. So she froze in the dream, and then the only thing she could do is scream out for grandmother. Grandma, grandma, she woke shivering to see father beside her bed, a candle in his hand. Now, one nightmare she dreamt, and one nightmare standing beside her. So when she opened her eyes, she saw her father standing beside the bed with a candle in his hand. What's the matter? He said. Oh, butcher, a knife. I want Granny. He blew out the candle, bent down and caught up to the child in his arms, carrying her along the passage to the big bedroom. And this guy, out of no man's land, suddenly become very caring. He picks her up in his arms and he's taking her to his bedroom. A newspaper was on the bed. He put away the paper, then carefully tucked up the child. Like he put her to sleep on the bed and he put the sheet on her to cover her. He lay down beside her, half asleep still. Still with the butcher's smile all about her it seemed, she crept close to him, snuggled her head under his arm, held tightly to his shirt. Snuggling means actually embracing somebody and sleeping too close to another person. Because she was so scared, she wanted some warmth of the other person. She didn't even notice that the warmth what she was enjoying was her father's warmth. So she went too close to him. Under his arm she put her head. So because she was a little child, so under his arm she could hear his heartbeat. Okay? Keep that in mind. Then the dark did not matter. She lay still. Here, rub your feet against my legs and get there warm, said father. Now when your feet go cold, when you're scared also your feet go cold. Moreover, the temperature over there was very low. It was winter season. So he said, rub your feet against my legs so that you will feel the warmth. Tired out, he slept before the little girl. A funny feeling came over her. Poor father, not so big after all, and with no one to look after him. So now she was in dual mind over here, saying that daddy is so big, but still there is nobody to look after him like me today. Both are sailing in the same boat. So a little bit of change in the opinion came over here. That father was big, but he was not that bad what she was thinking he was. He was harder than grandmother, but it was nice hardness. Harder means firm muscles. Grandmother also had firm muscles, but she was bony. And this man was muscly, and his muscles were tight because he was, I would say, middle-aged man. But she found that hardness to be nice. And every day he had to work and was too tired to be a Mr. McDonald. So she then understood that because he works a lot, he cannot play the role play of Mr. McDonald who stays in the neighborhood. So then she understood, yes, because might be he's tired, by the end of the day he gets cranky. She had torn up all his beautiful writing. She stirred suddenly and sighed. Sighed a deep breathy release. What's the matter? Asked her father. Another dream? Oh, said the little girl. My head's on your heart. I can hear it going. What a big heart you've got, father dear. So when she hears the hearts pounding, she gives a very cute statement saying, you've got a big heart. That's why I can hear it so clear. Now the actual feeling behind the text is that we have many impressions about people who are around us, and those impressions are created by circumstances or incidents which happened between them and you. Certain times, I would say certain times, not all the time, certain times we are wrong. Now, how are we wrong? We judge a person. That's the worst thing you can do in your life. Do not judge a person very quickly. Give them time. Give them time. Learn about their behavior. Learn about their mannerism. If there is any substantiate reasoning behind it, if there is any feasible reasoning they can give you, saying that this is why I am like this, and it's understandable and you can pardon them for that, then make an opinion about them. So as at the beginning I had said, you never know what a person can change to until unless you step into the shoes of that person or have an experience in your life which will make your eyes open, like literally an eye-opener kind of a situation where you will definitely come to see the other side of the coin, and then you form your opinion. So don't judge very quickly. That's the moral of the chapter. Don't judge very quickly. Give chances. Again and again and again and again they fail you. Then if you form an opinion, even I will be standing by your side. Mark the question and answers dear. Finish off the exercises which have been given at the back in print. And if you face any difficulty, I will be available for you on WhatsApp. You can ping me personally and ask me what is the answer of the question. But do mark now, because from here the term 1 portion starts, and then you have to take care that now 80-mark paper has to be set, and we need to give you some kind of an assignment. If the school starts, I'll be happier than you, and if not, then be ready for the entire text. We can give you inferences, we can give you an extract from the book to read, and then we will formulate questions on that. Anything can happen, so be ready totally. So and the exercise also have to be finished. Thank you.